New research has revealed that more than 40%, more than 4 in 10 mortgage holders in this country were struggling to make their home loan repayments last month. That's 1.4 million households who are struggling to pay their home loans now that interest rates have gone up 13 times, 12 of those rises under the Albanese Labor government. And more than 1 in 10 mortgage holders, that's more than 10% of mortgage holders, have actually missed a payment already. So this is the cost of living crisis on steroids for so many families. The cost of power and groceries and other essentials keeps going up, but it's the high interest rates on the mortgage that actually threatens the very roof over people's heads, the biggest investment most of us will ever make. This news comes as another survey has shown that over the past 2 years, disposable income in our country has fallen further than in any other developed country. We are getting poorer. Yet while Labor government, state and federal, keep spending at record levels, they try to pretend they're not fueling inflation and forcing the Reserve Bank to keep rates higher for longer. The Treasurer is as smug as ever, even when we're in a per capita recession, a per household recession, our standard of living going backwards, and Labor promised actually to ease the cost of living. Most of us see an economic challenge, but Jim Chalmers sees party politics.
Those opposite were desperate for the economy to go into recession. They desperately want higher interest rates. They desperately want higher inflation. They desperately want the economy to go backwards because it serves their political purposes.
What's even more extraordinary is the way Labor seems intent on attacking the Reserve Bank. Last week, Jim Chalmers said the RBA's interest rate policies were smashing the economy. And on Friday, his former boss, the former Treasurer, Wayne Swan, now federal president of the ALP, well, he went in even harder.
The drivers of inflation in this country are not going to be affected and not going to come down by hammering mums and dads with higher rates.
But that's the only weapon that the RBA has in its arsenal, really. It's the government that has more things that it can do in order to bring down inflation.
Well, the government is doing a lot to bring down inflation, but the Reserve Bank is simply punching itself in the face. It's counterproductive, and it's not good economic policy, and I'm incredibly disappointed with what they're doing.
Now, Swan is hardly someone you'd turn to for economic advice, and it's no surprise the opposition focused on this Reserve Bank bashing in question time today.
Treasurer, why does the Albanese Labor government think it's acceptable to bully the independent RBA in this way when all they're doing is cleaning up Labor's economic mess? Why is the government fighting the Reserve Bank of Australia while Australian families go backwards?
Yeah, the Treasurer tried to pretend there's no conflict, that there's no argy-bargy with the RBA.
First of all, the Governor of the Reserve Bank doesn't consider it the way that the Deputy Leader has said. That's the first point.
Well, firstly, when the Governor was asked about a war with the Treasurer last week, she wisely and understandably said she wouldn't go that far.
Back to the smashing the economy comments from Jim Chalmers, the opposition leader has said today that you and the Treasurer are at war. Are you?
He's doing his job and I'm doing mine. I wouldn't use those sorts of words.
Yeah, she wouldn't use those sorts of words. But secondly, the ramped up attack from Wayne Swan came the day after those comments from the Governor. So if Michelle Bullock didn't think she and her organisation were directly under attack from Labor then, she sure knows now. This is a transparent and unprecedented effort by Labor to shift the blame to the Reserve Bank for the state of the economy and the pain that's being experienced by voters. And it's also an obvious attempt to push the bank towards the interest rate decisions that Labor wants. Instead of doing what it can to lower spending and improve productivity, Labor is using bully boy tactics. And meanwhile, the cost of living crisis grinds on.